I'm Jason.
I'm Diggs.
I make software, music, and podcasts.
I connect people personally and professionally, and I like talking with Jason.
This is the Candy Factory 5x5 podcast.
5 conversations.
5 random topics.
5 minutes each.
When we hear this sound,
we move on to the next topic. Next.
On every episode, we invite a very special guest to join us. And the special guest on today's program is Zach Johnson-Medland. I nailed it.
Yeah, great.
Great
a lot
job.
of people get it backwards, so.
Zach Medland Johnson?
Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
I wonder why. I could see that, though. Like, I think my brain almost went there. Like, I could feel that.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is. I don't know. So I have a friend, his name is Adam Aronson. Aronson, and everybody calls him Aaron Adamson.
Huh.
Like, it's an instinct. They call him, it's just, I don't know. Now I'm going to, next time I see it, because I got it in my head. Zach, welcome to the program. It's great to have you on.
Thanks.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a graphic designer. I work for a fly fishing company, and I work as a freelance graphic designer for Gumption Design Co, which is my own graphic design company.
That's awesome.
Ooh. Yeah,
A
thanks.
fly fishing company.
Yeah.
You don't hear that every day.
No. So we do a ton of stuff. It's TCO Fly Shop over in Reading.
Okay.
We have 4 locations, bunch of different stuff. A lot of the staff is really knowledgeable, so it's a great job.
About fly fishing, I would assume.
Yes.
Or just generally, just the trivia.
About anything.
You get that team at a pub quiz. Hey.
These guys kill it at trivia night. down at the bar. Diggs, my friend, it's always a pleasure to see you.
And you.
Welcome back. This is episode 51 of the Candy Factory's 5x5 podcast. I mentioned the Candy Factory. Do we sell candy? No, we don't. We're a co-working and social club located here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Community memberships start at $100 a month. That gets you access to our space anytime we're open. 8 to 6, Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5 on Friday, and 9 to 12 on Saturday. You can come in Saturday morning, read the paper.
Yeah.
You could read the paper and have a cup of coffee with me.
Yeah.
On your way to market.
That's it.
And then
There
do
you
the
go.
crossword.
You should totally and do the crossword. Yeah, that's I started bringing in a physical paper,
Yeah.
and it is just it's turned. Are you on the crossword team or whatever they
I've
call it?
tried to be. I am not great at it.
No. That's why you keep coming back. You learn.
Yeah.
You learn the tricks.
It's been wild. It's like people have really embraced the paper,
yeah.
and it's I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's kind of
And
nostalgic.
you could too if you were here.
You could.
Yeah.
Schedule
Good.
a tour. Coworkinginlancaster.com for all the details. You can schedule a tour. Come and hang out with us. You can even see our beautiful new media studio where we are recording this episode. It's gorgeous. This is episode 51. Here's how it works if you're new to the program. My iPad, his name is Frank. He's sitting right there. Frank will dish up 5 random topics. We'll talk about each topic for 5 minutes each. We'll hear a little jingle. We'll move on to the next topic. So if it sucks, it's all right.
Yeah.
If by minute 1, like 1.5, you're like, this is you only have 3.5 minutes left.
That's it.
It's the fastest 25 minutes in podcasting.
Zing.
You guys ready to go?
Let's do it.
Feeling
Let's
good? Let's see what Frank has in store for us today on 5x5. Topic number 1, poker. Poker. I don't get it. That's the topic is literally poker. I don't get it.
I think this was me.
I think it was.
Yeah. Because
In fact,
I
know it
don't get it.
What don't you get about poker?
All of it. I don't get the sweets and hands and I mean okay.
You actually
There's a
don't
lot.
understand the game.
No, I don't. And most card games, like I just if I learn them at some point, I invariably forget them. Poker, I've just never. I've tried. I can't keep track of it.
I do the same thing. My wife has to re-explain board games to me every time.
Oh,
and I'm
my
like,
God.
that's why you have instructions.
It really does suck the fun out of the
Yeah.
whole experience, doesn't it?
Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah.
Do you understand poker?
I have to Google the
You have to, like, the
things
hands?
every time.
All right.
Time.
Do you get it in terms of like the desire to play it? Do you play?
Yeah.
Do you play cards? I mean, are you?
Not a lot. I'm also just not a great like game person. Like the thing is, like it's usually I'm always the one that has to relearn the rules too, and then it that takes the fun out of it. Especially when it's usually what gets me is there'll be the one person that goes, "Oh, I know the rules. We'll just start playing and you'll pick it up," and then they forget this, then they forget
There's always
that,
someone.
and then so
Right, and then you do the thing, and they're like, "Oh, wait, I forgot to tell you about this other rule."
you could have traded this thing in for that thing, and
Yeah.
I just,
By the way, they're the person always winning. Yeah.
No question about it.
yeah,
No
Yeah,
question.
because they
about it.
make up the rules.
Because they know all of the rules.
Yeah, ultimate house rules.
And make up new ones when they start
right,
to lose.
Right. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you weren't actually. I can't give you this card because It's mine.
I forgot to tell you that Diggs has to give up all of his cards. That's part of the rules. Anyone named Diggs has to give up all their cards all the time to me. That's the rule. My grandfather loved to play poker. These are my father's parents. Both of them, the Mundocks. Both of them loved to gamble. My grandmother would roll into Atlantic City and get the the platinum treatment up to the penthouse. Marg Mundock is here. Like, roll out the red carpet. She's here.
Did she win a lot?
Not wealthy people by any stretch, but won all the time. She won all the time.
Did she also lose?
The net win.
Okay.
I mean, she would lose.
Fair.
She would lose sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, she was amazing. And it was one of those things where you didn't. When I was an adult. She passed away when I was, in my mid 40s. So in my 30s and whatnot, you kind of get a better sense of where people are in life in terms of, you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't have a lot of money to be thrown around. Every once in a while, she'd slip me a bill, slip me 100. Like, Graham, you really don't need to, she's like, hey, I won.
Yeah, it's all good.
And she had 13 grandkids. So she was passing around. She was passing out.
Wow.
I'm telling you, she won
So many
one.
kids.
Okay.
She won.
All right.
It was
Grandma
awesome.
Munduck.
But Grandma, so she's sort of the gambling inspiration for our entire family. I did not get that bug, but now my grandfather, Pete, loved to play poker, and so every family of it's like from the time I was a little kid all the way up through like my 30s, you'd go to grandma's and there'd be a poker game going on, and everyone would bring their can of coins.
Oh.
I was gonna say, are people betting real money on this?
Oh wait, we bet real money at Graham's, but it was like nickel quarter.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't.
You do like pennies and stuff.
Yeah. So, but it was a blast. Yeah, I mean, it was just everybody too. The cousins. Like, yeah, I'd say you'd started playing when you were like in your early teens. Is when you were invited to the table.
Did they take it easy on you?
No. No, and Pete.
Trial by fire.
Pete was so about wild cards.
In general,
so somebody throws if somebody calls a game, so you could. There's all these different flavors of poker, right? All these different versions.
Yeah.
Time out. Calls a game? What?
So as you trade off the deal, right? So like if the three of us were playing, I would deal, you would deal, you would deal.
Oh, so that's the call.
No. You would deal a game.
Okay.
And whoever deals a game calls out what kind of poker you're going to play. Because there's different kinds.
Like blackjack or
there's 7-card stud, there's 5-card stud, there's
okay.
and there's like just regular 5-card,
stud
with just draw, right? Anyway, the bottom line is 5-card draw is just like standard 5 cards. You trade in one time, you get a shot to like, here I want 3 more or 2 more. You trade in, okay. And someone would call a wild card. They'd be like, whatever, Jack's wild. My grandfather would get so pissed off.
But what does that mean? What does that mean?
Oh, that means that the Jack then could be any card.
Is that a real poker thing?
Yeah. I mean,
really?
not if you go to like.
I don't
Las
think
Vegas.
I've ever played
with wild card.
No.
Yeah, look, if you're walking to a casino, they're going to kick you out. But I mean, this is like,
house rules.
Yeah. And what happens is that if you're doing like 7-card, you're still doing a hand of 5, right? And you throw a wild card in, and then it's fun because then there's a lot more full houses, there's a lot more straights.
Yeah.
Because you're not actually. So my aunts, my aunts would call wild cards. My grandfather would get so jacked up, he would just be like, "No." Anyway, I'm gonna fold. On topic number 1.
I know that term.
Moving on to topic number 2 of this episode's 5x5. Favorite game show. Favorite game show. Let's turn it to Zach. What's your favorite game? Do you like game shows?
No.
Yeah, the look on your face.
I don't know any. I think Jeopardy, maybe. What is that? Where the guy has the letters, right?
The guy, no, that's Wheel of Fortune.
That's Wheel of Fortune. That's such a great way to say it. It's like Jeopardy. I think the guy with the letters. Like that's how you describe it. The guy. I don't know. The guy with the letters.
Not even as a kid.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I never understood the purpose of like I'm gonna spend my time watching someone else play a game. It's a little too like meta.
No, because then you get to play along. So like they're right after
But I
dinner
never know
or
what-
during dinner. Like
I don't. Again,
Speaking of
I
Grandma
don't-
Mundock, she in her later years, the Game Show Network was on
Oh,
24/7.
yeah.
You know,
I
some
would-
people
I would do that.
Yep.
You know, some people leave the Weather Channel on.
yeah, yes.
And it's just on.
Yep.
The Game Show
The
Network.
weather's gonna get better.
That was
She
my
was into
wife in
games.
college. That was all she would watch. Like,
Weather or
The
Game
Weather
Show?
Channel.
the game shows.
Oh,
She would like have it on while she was doing homework, which seems to me like it would be confusing.
And were you together at the time, or is this just
Yeah,
a fact?
yeah.
You know. So even with that, you don't have a favorite game show.
No.
Your wife, your girlfriend at the time, wife. Were you married at the time?
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend. So your girlfriend in college has the Game Show Network on all the time. You have none. Not a favorite. Card
yeah,
Sharks.
She clearly
I
didn't
don't
try
know.
hard enough. Hollywood Squares.
Family
think-
Feud.
Yeah,
I think it's more of a common. Like I just forget games when I think.
Yeah.
Same thing with the
does
board
Pri-
games.
Does Price is Right count? I mean, I guess so.
Absolutely.
You know, I feel like Price is Right is more of like just like syndicated television, like because it just seems like it's not necessarily about like because it's just all guessing, isn't it? Like there's not real like
Yeah.
like skill other than knowing the
Oh.
like rule of like if you bet a penny and everyone else has gone over.
Oh, you
like,
think there's skill involved?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
No.
You- for Price is Right,
No.
you've got to know what a can of soup costs, or whatever it is.
Okay, so there's general skill.
But that's not skill. That's just like I shop.
It's like I participate in.
I go to
in
Giant.
society,
I
yeah.
deal with Marty. I have to. I better know the damn like.
Like they
costume.
didn't pull them out of a cave or something.
Diggs, do you have a favorite game show?
It's British.
Oh.
to do the
Right then.
Yes. So it's actually a mashup of two game shows. This will make sense in a second. So there's a comedy game show called 8 out of 10 Cats, which is Jimmy Carr. If you ever heard the British comedian with a very like weird laugh, that's that guy. So he hosts it with these two teams, and they basically have to figure out. It's like a random like 4 out of 7 people think blah, 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 so they get a random stat, and then it's comedians around the table that sort of make up BS stats about that stat, if that makes sense. Which it kind of doesn't. I know.
No,
That's fair.
yeah, no. I'm
Okay.
Then there's
you're losing me, but that's okay.
That's fair. That's fair. There's then the straights and flushes and whatever the poker thing is. This is payback. So there's another show that's serious called Countdown,
Okay.
and it's like if you put together like Jeopardy in terms of smarts and the sort of like quick fire knowledge you need in I guess also Jeopardy, but I was gonna say Wheel of Fortune, like figuring out the letters if you can figure out the words on Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
There's also a math component to Countdown. So they alternate rounds. You get 9 random letters. You have to basically make a word out of the 9 letters. Next round is you get 6 random numbers, and you have to get as close to the assigned number with the 6 numbers that you get. So it's a smart show. So I mean, it's a geeky show.
Sure, yeah.
There's now a mashup of the two
Whoa.
Oh my
that
gosh.
puts the comedy people playing the serious show, and it's hilarious. It is so good. Like it takes a while to get into it because it is.
Do you
kinda
have to understand the original things as well?
No, you really don't, because you pick up quickly that everyone knows each other already,
Yeah.
and like you're the interloper is like the random American watching this thing on YouTube, but it's hilarious. It is really funny. I will share an episode with
Please.
you all.
We
Yes.
need to put that in the show notes. We need an embedded. We're gonna go all high tech and embed a video.
I also have to shout out my current roommate Nick, because he's the reason I found this, and I initially was like, this is dumb, and I kind of kept watching it and realized, actually this is really great.
Yeah, you bought into it.
I did.
Yeah. We're gonna embed that one.
Done.
I don't know that I had a favorite. You know, growing up when I was a kid, which was a long, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. When you got sick, I would go to my grandmother's house because it was next door to my house, and my mother was a teacher, so she was at work. My dad was out selling shingles and the roofing kind, and
Not the virus.
not the right.
Oh, good.
Anyway, so you would go to Graham's and put the not the gambling grandmother, and you would you put on the TV, and there was no choice. I mean, you had 13 channels,
Yeah.
and that was it. And soap operas were on most of the channels.
As the sand goes to the hourglass.
Yes, indeed. And so game shows were part of like daytime television, and so you just sort of had it on. There's like your choice was like Guiding Light and that, and it was just like
Game show.
yeah, you totally went game show, you right? And I remember games like Card Sharks and things of that nature. Anyway, the credits are rolling on topic number 2.
Did we win anything?
It's type ding ding ding. Topic number 3 of this episode is 5x5. Ready? High school.
Ooh.
Oh.
Pro or con? Pro or con high school? Did you have a good high school experience?
It wasn't horrible. It was just
Like ringing endorsement.
It didn't suck balls.
Yeah.
I was the president of the Art Honor Society that I made.
You made an honor society?
Yeah,
Don't
so
mention.
it's like a national thing, and you can join in. But then I essentially just use that to get out of class all the because I could be like, oh, I need to go do something.
I thought this was you. I thought you were going to say this is how you got into college. It was like, oh, look, I was the president.
Well,
Like,
that too. That was
Well
Yeah.
played. It's like making up certificate, like certifications now.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
yeah.
Right. Put the three characters after your name.
Yep.
So you made up the what? No, wait. Was it like a franchise?
It's like kind of a franchise,
like a chapter?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's chapters, and then I opened it.
You opened the chapter.
You have to get a teacher to like sponsor you. So like I actually did stuff.
That's some effort.
But like there was a large majority of the time I was like, I don't want to be in this class anymore. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, the Arts Honor Society
Gotta
people
go
are coming.
do something.
We got to get that whole Art Society thing.
Yeah, we gotta
rolling.
Yeah.
Where did you go to high school?
Pocono Mountain East.
Whoa, Pocono Mountain East.
So there's an east and a west.
Okay.
They have like a little bit of a feud, and
Oh, is that the rival school?
yeah,
The East and the West. Now, are those two schools in the same district or two completely different districts?
I don't know.
Don't know.
No idea.
Well, I mean, like, because there's some districts have 2 high schools because they're so big.
I think it's the same district.
Same
yeah,
school
like
district.
if one was
Did you
shut
have
down.
Like,
Yeah.
if you had is the football team one football team or
No, two. So maybe just
maybe 2 districts? I'll have to look that up.
What's the homecoming?
yeah.
game?
You can tell I was really invested in it. Yeah.
You're like,
Now,
I
if
have
you
no
asked about
idea.
the Arts Honor
Yeah,
Society.
the Art Honor Society president really knows his football stuff. Like, I used a camera to sneak into the football games when I had to go to them.
Oh,
So I
okay. So you didn't have to pay the $3
Yeah.
or whatever.
You just like bring a camera and you're like, I
yeah,
gotta
press.
take pictures.
Press.
Like,
Sorry, that
no.
took me a second. I was like, you used a cam. How did the camera get in? Then you get, and then okay.
Which was like once.
Yeah. Okay. So you were just
Yeah.
like, I'm not into that.
Yeah.
Your Friday nights were all about the Art
Oh yeah.
Honor Society.
Yeah, but so then why did you sneak in that one time?
I think my wife was there, or who's now my wife.
Who's now my wife?
I was not married.
I was gonna say, did you?
I was gonna say.
Because in college she was your girlfriend, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Wait a minute. Hey, people get me married.
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe you got divorced like freshman year of college, got back together. Dix,
It was the
you had
game
a-
shows.
you had an interesting high school.
I did. So I ended up going to boarding school for high school, and I really loved my experience. I went through an education access program in New York, heavily scholarship kid. Like I don't come looking for money, but there's so many experiences that I was able to do because of like the generosity of other people at that school that did actually have money. So my first international trip was because of like a family there that sponsored a trip to Saudi Arabia in my senior year. Yeah. So that was, when I talk about culture clash, you fly 14 hours, and I remember seeing like a Goodyear sign, like as we were coming into land. I'm like, did we just go into like Arizona?
Yeah. We in Jersey?
Yeah, this doesn't.
We just been circling
This is different.
LaGuardia
Yeah,
for 14 hours.
yeah. But I mean, other things too. I got to do community service in New Orleans after Katrina with my high school.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That was crazy. We were in Musicians Village, the sort of big Habitat for Humanity rebuild that they did in the Lower Ninth Ward. Like you can look it up and see like the work they did. It's like they tried to re-emulate what had been like a really colorful neighborhood by making the houses all just as colorful as they had been previously.
That's cool.
Got to help build some of them back up. So yeah, it was lots of great experiences, and also some not great experiences because
You
high
can't
school.
you can't have high school without
Yeah.
some real shithole experience. You know, it's like
Especially when you can't get away from the kids, like you're always there.
Oh,
yes.
Unless-
Oh yeah, the
Oh
boarding
my
school.
God.
Right, unless it's day students. So
It's like it's sort of like like freshman year of dorm, but for 4 years. Like you're in college. You know what I mean?
by the time I got to college, I was so done with the waiting around for everyone thing because I was just like, I've been doing this for 4 years. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
No, but we want to go to dinner at 5:30. No, I'm hungry at 5. I'm
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just start doing things. Yeah.
Big school, Zach? Was your school big?
Oh, no.
Oh no. Like
big.
how many? What's your graduating class?
I think like it's got to be over 100, 200 probably.
Okay. Yeah, same.
In the ballpark, 100
Yeah.
to 200, somewhere
Somewhere in.
somewhere between 100 and 200.
We were at least 200. We always added more kids every year, so I think we graduated at 245 or something.
Oh
like
wow,
that.
yeah. Mine was 160 ish, but that we were the biggest class ever.
Oh.
Yeah, we were like the rabbit through the snake. Like they added a classroom for us for whatever 12 years, and then you know what I mean?
Like a
'Cause
vinyl siding, like
yeah,
motor.
most classes were like 120, 125.
Ah.
You know, but anyway, there's the bell.
Yeah.
School's out.
Ah.
On topic number 3 of this episode's 5x5. Topic number 4
Fourth period.
is we're heading into fourth period. All right, what's your favorite podcast? What is your favorite podcast?
I wonder what podcast do I listen to all the time?
Pressure.
You know, I'm going to run with this a little bit just because I'm going to admit that I don't listen to a lot of podcasts anymore. I know, isn't that terrible? And there's a couple of reasons. Number one is because I make a lot of them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so you end up like the Candy Factory 5x5 podcast, brought to you by the Candy Factory, a co-working and social club in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Like this one, and then so I end up listening to and editing these shows, and I work on a lot of different shows, and so I don't have a lot of just time. And the second reason is because I don't drive anymore.
Yeah.
Like I used to drive. So when I got into podcasts, it was around 2008, and I was working out of Philadelphia. A company was in Philadelphia. I worked here remotely, but my clients went all the way to Long Island, and I was doing a lot of on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I would drive sometimes upwards of 3.5 hours to go to a client meeting. I remember driving down to Egg Harbor, New Jersey, which is near Atlantic City,
Yeah.
for a meeting.
Oh my.
And then driving home, right? And so things, the remote thing wasn't quite as accepted. It was manufacturing. It was like you really had to just show up.
Yeah.
And so I was on the road a lot, and I remember having an iPod. And I still have it.
Which
Was it a
version?
click wheel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still use it.
Oh, yeah.
It's in my van. I have it plugged in all the time, and it's just set to this one great big long playlist that I've been building for years and years, and that's the only thing I sync on it.
Do you update it?
And it yeah.
Oh, nice.
I'll pull it out like once a month.
Yeah.
And I'll resync it, put it back in the van, right? But anyway, I had and I would sync it every morning, and it would download like the new whatever was new.
Oh, yeah.
The way it used to work, right? And then I would listen to the podcasts, and I remember when I first got into it, the big stuff was the NPR shows,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like This American Life, and they were already about 7 or 8 years in, so there was a lot of backlog, there was a lot of archive there. I got into that. I got into Radio Lab. I got into those shows primarily. I would listen to Wait, Don't Tell Me through podcasting,
Yeah.
and
So good.
just most of those shows, and then some that friends were developing, and I started a podcast in 2010. So then I would listen to that to make sure it didn't suck, or figure out what I was going to do with it. But so I remember, I think I listened to the first 10 years of This American Life, like binged it because I was on the road so much.
Yeah.
Well, then I stopped driving,
Yeah.
and now I barely now I'm literally back. Like even I would still go to clients over the past 7-8 years as I've been on my own, although mostly more local, maybe Harrisburg or something like that. But now with the pandemic and the Zooming and everything like that, I don't drive anywhere.
Yeah.
So, and that's really when I would listen.
Yeah.
I got to work out so I can start listening to podcasts again.
There you go.
Good reason to start.
Yeah, so I really don't. I don't really listen to. I would have to say if I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be Radio Lab. but I would give a shout out to there's this one podcast, and I hope I get the name right. Is This Really Happening? Was the name of the podcast, and it were these like true stories that were really interestingly edited. It was basically just an interview with somebody telling these sometimes horrific stories.
Yeah.
And the edits were they're almost like jump cuts in video for audio. So it would just sort of piece together. And I don't know, I really resonated with it.
Awesome.
That was a great one.
Cool.
But Zach, I gave you a lot of time to think about it.
I really like Dirtbag Diaries.
What's that? Tell me about that one.
It's a outdoors podcast. It's usually people, it kind of goes between people telling stories, and then they usually have like segments where it's a short story segment of several people telling different stories. So,
Oh, that sounds pretty cool. I mean, I like that format. Like that's my favorite as far as podcasts go.
Is it different versions of that?
No, they're usually like the same topic. It's
Yeah, and see, that's like I always say the This American Life.
Yeah.
It's like the This American Life format is, and that's why I've always resonated to that, like, or the Moth Radio Hour kind of podcast where you would listen to. I like that format more so than I think, standard interview, like a fresh air. I wouldn't probably spend much time listening to that kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And to add to the NPR love, when I was commuting in New York City, oh my God, All Songs Considered was and I found so much music through that, which was then difficult because you're on the subway and you're like, oh, that song's great, and you're like trying to like note like what it is, and then you'd forget to check the note later. Yeah, it was sometimes I think I missed great songs because I just couldn't like immediately search for them to like them in Spotify or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, Wait, Don't Tell Me is still my favorite go-to. I downloaded a few episodes before my recent vacation just so I could have them.
Yeah. It's been a long. It just reminded me of a podcast that I listened to probably around 2011, and it was this. It's so interesting how sometimes you find those really almost like just independent ones.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was this one podcast by this guy. I have to look up the name. Who was out in Los Angeles. He was like an actor who was trying to break in, and it was literally just kind of his personal diary.
Oh
yeah.
And he was telling these great little stories, and I don't know how much of it was true. It seemed real. You know what I mean?
That's what's important.
And I just hooked onto it, and then I just couldn't wait for the next episode.
And then they just stop. That's usually what happens.
But unfortunately, the episode has ended on topic number 4. It's time for topic number 5. The final topic on this episode is 5x5. Every once in a while, you get ones that you just don't know what that. Wound bags.
Ugh. Sounds really gross.
What is it? I was going to say, I thought you knew what it was.
Did I type that wrong? Wound bags. This was suggested by Gene. By Gene Girding, who was our guest on episode 50, the Big 5-0.
Wait, she did bring this up, and now I'm trying to remember what.
And she must have said what it was.
She said what it was, and this is sometimes what happens. We could come up with our own theory.
Wound. Yeah. What do you think when you hear the word wound bag?
I just picture like a bag full of gauze.
That's honestly
really gross.
Yeah.
I know that's not what it is. I know it probably has a really good meaning.
There's probably something very significant about it, and probably something we talked about not that long ago that my brain has completely eradicated from its memory banks. But our research department, our fill-in research department this week, Diggs, is checking this out.
I'm not entirely sure. So apparently it's flexible pouches designed to offer skin protection and contain drainage from wounds, fistulas, and difficult stoma sites.
Yeah, like if you have like some kind of
thing,
bad wound that you have to like keep.
Why, Gene?
That's less bad than. I don't know why it's on there.
I feel like this is if only we could do, like, speaking of game shows, call a friend.
Yes. call Gene. What the hell were you thinking? All right, well, I'm going to tell you. Let's get rid of the word wound.
It's bags.
Let's talk about bags.
I'm down for that.
Do you?
Bags, man.
Just bags.
Just any bag.
Talk to me about. Bring it.
I love bags. Like,
do you?
I feel like I get a new backpack every. It's got to be like 6 months.
Is it like a thing? Like when you were a kid?
Wait. Do you have a problem?
I have a problem. It is.
Are you a backpack connoisseur? Like, do you geek out on it, or do you just go to Amazon and like get whatever?
No, I want to make sure that everything fits right. Like it's got a pocket.
Doing measurements.
Yeah. Why not?
So when you're a kid, like that was always a big deal for school. Like get my new backpack.
I think that's where it started.
Yeah. So the dopamine rush that you would get in August at back to school sales.
Yeah.
Do you remember when the 3-pouch JanSports came out? Like this
oh
was
yeah,
like, yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I guess I remember. Like that was like the big deal for. Like,
I went and looked for a JanSport. I think because I was in the Poconos, so there wasn't like a one place that had like. I think I had to like look it up online and then search several places.
Mm-hmm. And then they had
the
egg carton like shoulder straps that were like extra comfy. Oh, this was like the first of 3 pouches came out. I think that was like maybe 2nd or 3rd grade. That was a big deal.
I was older.
And then that's right. You're a little older than me. But wait,
younger.
no, you're younger than me. Yeah.
So,
but then the egg carton like super comfy like shoulder straps came out and like.
Was it.
You couldn't find them. Like it was like you had to like have known a shop manager to be told when it was coming in.
It's like the iPhone.
Yeah. No, it seriously was.
PS5. It's like his PS5. It's like it's the back alley.
Yeah.
Like doing the exchange.
Kind of.
Are you a big backpack fan? Like, are you kind of into it?
The only big like bag craze I went on lately was realizing I needed a convertible like work bag it's backpacky, but like it has like the multiple like I could do the
you got
satchel
the strap
thing
and you got the back. Yep, that's the way to go.
Because then it's just at least I know like if I need to look professional I can because I can hold it like a briefcase. But honestly, I just prefer to put it on my back.
So I recently got a fanny pack. Now before you say anything, shut up. Before you say anything, I got to explain this. All right, I'm a child of the '80s, a teenager of the '80s, child of the '70s. So we had fanny packs. Like, that's what we had.
Yeah.
It was your hacky sack, your cigarettes, your Walkman.
Only the important thing.
The 3 most important things in your life, besides your sunglasses that were on most of the time, were your Walkman, your cigarettes, and your hacky sack. So those will all fit in the fanny pack, right? And very comfortably. And then by somewhere around, say, 1991, it was over. And you had to just get rid of it, right? By 93, if you were wearing a fanny pack, then you were just like
you were going to get jumped.
You were going to get jumped, and you were the only acceptable, and it wasn't even acceptable, but it was just acceptable because there was nobody else around. Were like tourists in South Dakota. You'd see like with a fanny pack, right?
That's fair.
So gone, right? And I sort of lamented that because now I got rid of the Walkman, right? And I didn't use that anymore. And the cigarettes and the hackies. I still have a hacky sack, but I don't really need to carry it around.
You don't
anymore.
carry it around every day.
If I use it, I end up in physical therapy. But anyway, so here I am, right? 30 years later, and I'm at my daughter's graduation, high school graduation, and her boyfriend is sitting next to me, and he's got this thing around his shoulder. And now here's the thing: with the cell phones and the keys, I got like 48 keys because of the candy factory in my house, and the cars, and all this. And my kids have cars. I got extra keys. I've got all these keys, and I've got my pants fault. Like I'm carrying 30 pounds around with me now, right? So especially like linen pants or shorts in the summer.
Oh yeah.
No.
So it's like it's not
Elastic
working.
versus
There's so damn many things I got to carry, and the phones. I got the iPhone Max, this or that. It's a damn thing weighs 14 pounds. So I'm let's sit next to this kid, and I'm talking to him, and I said, "Tell me about this bag. Tell me about this. Tell me about this thing." And he's like, "Oh, it's a Coach. Kid's wearing a Coach. It's a fanny pack over his shoulder." We're going a little long on this one, folks. Just stand by. He's wearing it around his shoulder, and I'm like, "Is it technically a fanny pack?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's a fanny pack."
What?
But you wear it around your shoulder?
That's a
Now listen to me. Stand by.
Oh.
He said, I said, "Where'd you get it?" I got it for a gift, so I'm not exactly sure, but I probably just got it ordered online. Really nice bag. And I was like, man, I could put my phone, I could put all my stuff in there. It's a purse, right? It's a man purse.
Yeah.
So
European carry-all.
So I spent all day one day. I spent a Tuesday with my mother driving around Lancaster County looking for a fanny pack, right? And I got one.
Hey.
I got one at the Vans store.
That makes sense
to me.
Yeah,
totally, right?
Yeah, that's right.
The funny thing was I was wearing Vans in 1988 when I had my first fanny pack. I was wearing checkered Vans, and because the kids give me a hard time because I'm old, and they're like, "What are you doing with Vans?" And I'm like, "Shut up, kid! I was using Vans 20 years before you were even a thought."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now I'm carrying around this fanny pack. I've never worn it around the belt though.
Well,
it's an over the shoulder thing.
That's
how we're doing it.
I think it looks better that
Over
way.
the shoulder?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But if you notice, it's sort of like when you buy a car, right? You buy a certain kind of car, a certain color car, you see them
You start
everywhere.
seeing it everywhere. Yeah.
Okay, now I'm seeing fanny packs on everyone. Right?
Yeah. I've seen them everywhere.
And
Yeah.
people are wearing them on the fan. I mean, they're wearing them on the fanny. They're doing this like me and the cool kids, but they're also with the pack, the front pack, the side, the hip.
Okay.
Yeah, they're doing it. It's back, my friends, and that is something that nobody ever thought would come back.
That's fair.
98, 2000, 2003. If you said, "Hey, guess what's going to be back?"
Right.
They'd have said, no. They'd have said, okay, bell bottom's fine, whatever. You know what I mean? Like stirrup
records.
pants. Yeah, record album. Cassettes. Sure, okay, I'll even give you cassettes. But fanny packs, never.
Nada.
They're back. They're back.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And we're done.
We got to close the zipper on this episode of 5x5. That is episode 51 of the fastest 25 minutes in podcasting, isn't it? I think we even went 28 minutes.
Yeah, we probably,
Sorry, I'm sorry.
That's okay. It was important. We had to finish that one.
really needed to express that. Could you tell? In any event, thank you everybody for checking out today's show, and we will see. Well, let me just say goodbye to my friend Diggs first. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. We'll see you next time. Thank you everybody for checking out the show, and we will see you next time on 5 by 5.
The Candy Factory 5x5 podcast is produced at So Good Media Studio at the Candy Factory,
a co-working and social club located in downtown Lancaster, PA.
The show is hosted by Jason Mundock and Robert Diggs, with music by John Chin.
Yeah. He's a really cool guy.
Follow us on the socials at So Good Lancaster.
Find 5x5 and all of our shows at sogoodlancaster.com.
So good.
Lancaster!